About a week ago, President Donald Trump sent out a tweet that took the media by storm. As you are aware, the media has a compulsive need to respond to each and everything he tweets out in the most histrionic and clickbaity way possible. This puts Trump in an advantageous situation. Anytime he might want to force the media to talk about something that they would not normally cover or even acknowledge was happening to begin with, all he has to do is mention it on Twitter. By simply directing the Secretary of State to investigate something, this led to what appears to be damage control from every corner of the legacy media. Here is the tweet in question. Seems pretty harmless, right? If there's nothing to it, then surely there's nothing to worry about, and if there is something to it, maybe we should intervene. As I mentioned before, the media has a compulsion to respond to each tweet Donald Trump sends out. Their spin on South African farm seizure was that it does not even happen. And if it does, it's on such a small scale that no one should even read about it or ask any questions. Here was perhaps the hottest take on his tweet from MSNBC.
With regards to South African white farmers, I think 2 of them perhaps might have been killed in some instance, with the majority of folks who have been subject to any kind of violence, and this is non-white farmers in this instance, perhaps might have been killed in some instance. Perhaps might have been killed in some instance.
White men, red rascal, all of you must die, like our forefathers. Shoot to kill, white men, you must die.
Perhaps might have been killed in some instance.
There will be times, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Perhaps might have been killed in some instance.
MSNBC weren't the only ones running interference. Snopes, renowned truth tellers, labeled this as false as well. There is nothing happening here, they say. Here is Newsweek on March 19th, 2018, claiming that farm seizure without compensation was in fact going on. Just a few months later, after Trump's tweet, suddenly, nothing to see here. None of that is happening, they repeat over and over again, hoping it becomes truth. It's a conspiracy theory. Stop asking questions. It's harmful for dialogue. They remind us again and again and again. Either they were lying then, or they are lying now. But their first article lines up with the statistics that you can find with a simple DuckDuckGo search. As we all know, an internet search is too much to ask from accredited avatars of the free press. Here's another from Vox, just a bit from the top of the article. Trump's tweet echoing white nationalist propaganda about South African farmers explained. There's no evidence of a genocidal campaign against white farmers. It's hard to overstate how unprecedented this is. The President of the United States just directed the Secretary of State to look into a racist conspiracy theory he saw on Fox News, a conspiracy theory that is a major talking point for white nationalists and neo-Nazis. Whether or not it's actually true is irrelevant. I'll go ahead and repeat that one because I think it's an important thing to reiterate. Vox claims, whether or not it's actually true is irrelevant. Reddit went a step further. R-News, one of Reddit's default subreddits that new users are automatically subbed to, removed all discussion about South African farm seizures. This is just a taste of what's to come. These big tech companies are going to keep at this, preventing certain stories that are against their interest from being discussed anywhere on the internet, under the guise of my private business. And I don't use Reddit. I would assume many of the people watching don't use it either. But a lot of people do, and Reddit is manipulating the perspectives of average people, much like how Facebook is. We do have an infographic to take a look at. I did show it earlier in the video. Looking at this, it doesn't look like the big nothing burger that people like that MSNBC pundit tried to play it off as. Well, actually, he's not a professional MSNBC hack. He's just a hack professor at Princeton University. There does seem to be a consistent trend of this, however, but still, because it was something Donald Trump instructed somebody to investigate, they rushed to try to convince everybody that it wasn't even happening. You have to wonder, If there was nothing to these claims, why would they care that somebody was looking into it? Why would they be so against something that could be so helpful to so many if this was in fact happening? Do they actually believe that none of this is going on? I have my doubts. There have been multiple South Africans that have come forward with their own first-hand experiences.
Hello everybody, my name is Donnie Barnard. I'm 32 years old. I'm a boer from South Africa, an Afrikaner. And I normally don't do videos like this, but I feel that it is very important for me to get this message out. As you all may notice, President Trump last week Wednesday made a tweet about what is going on in South Africa, and there was a lot of backlash from the fake news mainstream media, especially in the United States. And as a South African boer, I can tell you guys that it is 100% correct what Mr. Trump said in his tweet. And we do not try to spread any false information, nor are we right-wing extremists or Nazis as they are calling us. We are only citizens that are fearing for our lives, because we live in a very violent society in South Africa, and it is true. It's not only the white South Africans, but also the black South Africans. But the big difference here is that our government actually encouraged this violence towards whites and endorses it with songs they sing when they hold rallies to their following. It is clear evidence on the internet. You guys can go see for yourself. All that we are asking for is for an investigation, to come and do your own due diligence and see for yourself the reality of what is really happening in this country and the blatant racism towards white people in this country. When I was 11 years old, myself, my brother, and my father was attacked on our farm. And luckily, my father managed to save our lives. Thank God he had a firearm so he could protect us. When I was 24 years old, we were attacked in our home again by 5 armed men. My grandfather was beaten to death on his farm. In South Africa, every single person knows somebody or was themselves affected by violent crime. We have a serious problem in this country, and we welcome Mr. Trump's tweet. Thank you very much, Mr. Trump.
After all of that, South Africa has announced that it is withdrawing the bill that was allowing the government to seize land without compensation. Considering the timing, it makes you wonder if they were worried about American intervention into the matter. This is from the Daily Mail article from yesterday. South Africa withdraws white farmland redistribution bill 6 days after Trump warned he was closely studying the situation. South Africa's ruling ANC party has withdrawn its farmland redistribution bill. Don't consider this a victory just yet, as they are reconsidering rewriting the bill. They aren't just going to stop now that they've been exposed to a week's worth of alternative news coverage and mainstream media gaslighting, on their behalf, by the way. The government will continue to push this. It's only a matter of time. Next time, however, somebody like Donald Trump won't be around to bring international awareness to the issue. When this happens next time, nobody will hear about it. By then, the internet will be tamed, social media will engineer the news cycle, and those people who are being driven from their homes will have nobody to give their story to. This is the future we're looking at if things keep going in this direction. If you need a glimpse into the future of South Africa, here is an article from June 27th, 2018, which shines as an example of what to expect in the near future. Whites forced education down our throats. It's actually not even our thing. Minister of Basic Education. So I wonder what the future holds in store for South Africa. Well, that'll be it for this video, but I mentioned in the previous video that I'm selling t-shirts on Teespring, and I forgot to mention that I do have a discount code available for people who are interested that gives you free shipping. So if you're interested, use the coupon code WILD for free shipping. It should bring down the cost by a few dollars. So now it's time for Verified by Twitter.